Okay, so now inside of the if is an empty URI, we start URI equals explode / URI. So now our URI becomes an array. Obviously, all the elements separated by the / will be a separate element inside of the array. And now we check first equals array shift. We basically removing, we get taking the first one out, the first element of this specific array out, URI, from this URI element, basically array, making this array shorter by one element, obviously, as well. So now we check if in array first, and it's inside of the array, this key underscore modules, we're checking whether we obviously go into the control panel or any other module if we have with our system. If this first keyword is inside of our key modules, then what we do is this module equals first. Basically, we're changing the front to whatever module is inside of the URL, whatever module URL indicates it is. Now we go for first equals empty URI. If it's empty, then it's going to be this main, which is basically the main, the value assigned to the main property. Otherwise, array underscore shift again, and this time we again using URI. So the next element after the module obviously is going to be assigned to our first variable. So now that we have this done, we're going for this main equals first, then this C page equals this main. So basically both of them, they have the same value until we obviously proceed. And perhaps if we find a specific keyword in the URL, then the C page will be overwritten. But for the time being, they're both the same. And now we check if count URI is more than 1, then pairs equals array. We create an empty array where we're going to be collecting all these other parameters. Now we're checking if obviously count URI is more than 1, because after this array shift, the next one, we may find out that obviously URI is empty. There were just two parameters in the URL and there's nothing else to work with. But if there are still parameters, then what we do, we're going to basically using for each loop to loop through these parameters. So for each URI s key equals value. And now what we do, we create pairs. We add into this pairs the value from the loop, and now we check if count pairs is more than 1. That means then obviously we have more than one element inside of this pairs array. This is when we need to clear this pairs array, because we're going to have basically key equals value as pairs, which we're going to be assigning to our params property in this specific class. So we're checking if it's more than 1, then we check if exclamation mark helper is empty. We're basically checking if the value isn't empty, because we're using exclamation mark here obviously, and then pairs 1, which is the second element of this array, which would be the value assigned to the first one. Then what we do, we check if pairs 0 equals this key page. So we're checking if the pairs 0, basically the first element in this array, equals our reserved keyword for the page to indicate that it's the page basically. Then this C page, as you can see, we overwriting this value from here with the new one, pairs 1. So the value is 1, the key is 0 obviously. And now I need to make sure that I copy this and overwrite this, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna misspell it somewhere, just to make sure that everything's fine. Okay, so this is the first scenario, obviously, when the key will equal the reserved key for the page. Then else if another scenario, we have pairs 0 equals a, which is our, sorry, let's start with the controller. So C for our control panel. Then this C equals pair, again, I'm going to copy and paste, equals the value assigned to it. Then else if, again, I'm going to use this one, pairs 0 equals A this time. Then, and copy this bit, this A equals pairs 1. So now that any possible reserved keywords are already omitted, taken off the obviously our array, then the last thing we do is this params, and we use pairs 0, which is the key, equals pairs 1. So basically we are assigning a key equals value and you put it to this params array. Then we can obviously populate the relevant whenever we need to. And now the last thing, we need to reset our pairs array, pairs equals array. So basically there will be only maximum of 2 elements in this array. Once there are 2, obviously, which is more than 1, then we're going to reset it basically by setting it to an empty array.